deep down, I was preparing for something to happen tonight, once again. The first year, the workers were stirred into a frenzy, killing and dismembering the old man. Oh yeah, this is probably why Ooishi's thing was required, because this is going to be from his perspective. Killing and dismembering the old man. And the second year, the Hojo couple were killed through a fake accident. You know, it's really like Takano deciding to be like, you know what, let's make use of this and make it a pattern. You know, just like her curse of oyashiro-sama. And it's thrown Ooishi for a loop here, hasn't it? Because now he's like, but he doesn't realize that they're not really, you know, directly connected in the way he thinks. So he's kind of like, he's barking up the right tree, but at the same time, it's the wrong tree. It's just like, he knows something's up, he realizes it, realizes there is some connection, but it's not the right overall picture. The Hojo family were killed for a fake accident. Since the dam protests, only people who are being hated by the villagers died on the day of watanagashi. And that is also a coincidence. A hell of a coincidence, but a coincidence nonetheless. Some people in the village were calling the instance a curse for oyashiro-sama. And that the dam protests are over, there would be no meaning in the villagers' enemies being killed on the night of the festival, I thought. If that was true, then there were still some enemies left over. I thought that perhaps that would happen again on the night of the festival 3 years in a row. My hunch was right. At first, however, it looked so natural that I didn't think anything of it. What? Those are real people, man! They don't look like the characters in this novel. Well, actually, have we seen people in the background of these images before? Maybe. I guess, but I don't think we've seen this one. The festival was nearing its end, and the village officials were gathered under the main tent. What's that say over there? I can't quite make out what that is. That's ink or something. I don't know. Obviously some kind of food stall, probably. This was in the end of the village, and the officials were gathered under the main tent. They opened their beers and enjoyed the leftover corn and praised cow tripe from the refreshment stands. I was in the main tent too, being entertained by the villagers. So I was actually there at the scene of the 3rd year's incident when it happened. Yet I didn't notice anything at the beginning. Oh. That's probably what happens. They probably spiked his drink. Hey, Furude-san, what's the matter? Are you feeling sick? Most of the older folks in the village were heavy drinkers, but a few were lightweights too. The priest was one of the latter. The priest was a representative as well as a host during the watanagashi festival. So every time visitors and guests arrived, he greeted them, and each time he was offered a drink. So by the night's end, he was pretty worn out. That's why I didn't think anything of it to see the priest sitting by himself in a folding chair. The mayor Kumiyoshi was the one to tap his shoulder and ask him if he was alright. Are you okay? You drank too much, didn't you? Does your chest hurt? Sorry, I think I'm a little tired. Didn't you have heart trouble before? Again, sudden pains isn't a good sign. Dr. Irie! Dr. Irie! What's wrong? Is it your chest? That's not good. When I saw what was going on, I noticed he was covered in a terrible sweat and was definitely not relaxing in his chair and enjoying the cool evening breeze. His face had a sickly pallor. I thought he should lie down immediately. Should probably take you to the clinic. Are you okay? Can you hold onto my shoulder? Hey, somebody help! Priest doesn't feel well. What's wrong with my husband? Dear, are you alright? Okay, that's gotta be your end. Onigafuchi, perfect timing. The priest doesn't feel well, so I'm gonna take him to the clinic. Could you please have the car come around here? Sure, no problem. You evil bastard. So the priest and his wife headed to the clinic with Dr. Irie. Oh, killing two birds with one stone there. I don't know about young people, but the elderly know their own bodies well. They almost never push themselves to the point where they start feeling ill. Especially someone like the priest. It was hard to imagine him drinking himself sick. So the cumulative experience of my years was telling me something. I head to the area clinic just in case. I tried to follow the car, but because the festival was almost over, all the stands were closing up, there was a lot of traffic going in and out, making it almost impossible for me to leave the temporary parking lot. More than 20 minutes had passed since the priest was carried in by the time I arrived at the clinic. 20 minutes. If it hadn't taken me 20 minutes, my involvement in this year's incident would have been quite different. I regretted not leaving on foot the moment I realized how hard it was to get my car out. Could have just grabbed the bike, honestly. All I get to do now is jot down the facts. Because between the time the priest left the festival and the time I arrived at the clinic, during those 20 minutes, this year's curse had taken place. The priest's condition changed for the worse right after he arrived at the clinic. He died. The autopsy results said it was heart failure, but how can I accept that? I don't think the priest was having heart problems, and everyone was taken by surprise by this sudden event. So they didn't, so I was wrong then, in remembering. They didn't make it seem like a suicide, more tried to make it seem like he just had a heart attack or something. Moreover, the wife of the priest disappeared too. According to the clinic staff, she was with him right after he died, but she's nowhere to be seen now. I mean, that's suspicious, like. What are they gonna freaking use as an excuse there? Just like, oh yeah, she ran off, it was like, she was really distraught. And then we found her clothes at onigafuchi swamp. I guess she must have killed herself. No need to investigate further. Case closed. Of course, she's not at home either. Maybe someone poisoned the priest. During the dam conflict, the priest was frowned upon for his remarks. He said there was no need to make a big fuss, because the dam project would be cancelled anyway. The older villagers liked to hold grudges, and I hadn't forgotten that. So even I had heard word of them talking about how the priest wasn't fit for the shrine to oyashiro-sama. I called for backup and had them go search for the missing wife. You know what, I've just come to a realization. Was it the Sonozaki family, or was it Takano that like sees, or maybe it was even Rika, that sees Ooishi as like the agent of Oyashiro-sama's curse or something like that. So in a way, I think Takano looks at Ooishi as like useful, because like while he's not trying to help out, obviously he wants to get a bottom of this, but him, like, you know, I don't know, just his involvement in all this, the way he's got it completely wrong. He's got tunnel vision on, you know, the Sonozaki family, so it's like, you know, with his focus on that, it kind of like distracts from what's really going on. So he's kind of useful in that regard. I called for backup and had them go and search for the missing wife. With last year's falling couple incident as present, it was easy to believe both wife and husband could become victims. The villagers' youth group got organized and searched from the village to the mountains, and as a result, we found a set of sandals and a will by the edge of the onigafuchi swamp. The will said something about how her husband's death was cursed by oyashiro-sama and she was throwing herself in the swamp to calm the god's anger. In other words, she committed suicide by jumping into the swamp. But that's bullshit. Legends say that the swamp is bottomless and is connected directly to hell. Once you sink, you'll never come back. Divers from the police department searched the swamp, but her body was nowhere to be found. That's because they probably wasn't even thrown in the swamp. The past two mysterious incidents were solved individually, just as higher-ups say, but something is odd about this year's mysterious death. Yeah, it is. It's not in the same pattern, because this one's actually organized. The first two were just a case of, you know, Hinamizawa syndrome reaching L5 and someone lashing out. This one was planned. The ill priest was carried to the clinic. His wife accompanied him. Within 20 minutes, the priest died of heart failure, and the wife either committed suicide or disappeared. The death of the priest may really have been a fatal heart attack, but for his wife to assume that it was a curse and to commit suicide by jumping in the swamp, all that to happen in 20 minutes just doesn't seem natural. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she was still alive after those 20 minutes, because she did say she was planning to, you know, dissect her alive. Experiment and shit. So, yeah. I mean, with that in mind, I would hope that she would have died by that point, because, my god, what a way to go. The Freda family has no relatives. Even if she was a true believer in oyashiro-sama, how could she commit suicide while leaving behind her one and only daughter? Irie is hiding something too. As a thought, it's like, what is Irie's thoughts on it? Surely, he's got to know what happened. You know, because she's not going to bring in, like, the mother and dissect her and all that, with Irie not knowing or finding out about that. Or, you know, taking part in it even. What the hell is Irie? How did Irie react to all this, you know? He's just a village doctor, which means he's nothing more than their pawn. And you're right to think that. If this is all a conspiracy... Just freaking... Okay... It's just like... Custom scan on the antivirus there, and it, for whatever reason, stopped the recording mid-sentence there, when it popped up to scan, I guess. Don't know how that works, but I'm back here. So I gotta read that again, then. If this is all a conspiracy to assassinate the priest, then there is someone who's pulling the strings. I had been starting to think that trying to tie the past two incidents to the village forcefully was a bit overbearing of me, but this incident was enough to convince me that this series of cases involving mysterious deaths in Higurashi were all grounded in one intention. And that's where you're wrong, Irie. Not Irie, Ooishi. The only thing that connects them is... Well, no! Now that I think about it, no! There's not even a connection there. First two cases, Higurashi syndrome. Third case, no Higurashi syndrome. That was a planned murder by the mountain dogs. So Higurashi syndrome had nothing to do with that instance. So that's not even connected. Talking now, you frickin' botched your own frickin' so-called curse. This incident has countless numbers of discrepancies, but someone from the village seems to be putting pressure on high command. And just like the past instance, this one will be treated as an individual case and end up being forgotten. Since it happened 3 years in a row, everyone in the village will say it's the curse of oyashiro-sama. I think that's the culprit's goal. Well, yeah, it is. It's very much their goal. After the war, belief in oyashiro-sama became antiquated. It is someone committing these murders as a ritual to restore that god's dignity. The one pulling the strings must be the Sonozaki family. Tunnel vision, that's where you're wrong, Ooishi. That's why you'll never be able to solve the case. You're like barking up the wrong tree. A few months passed. Or your Sonozaki said something like, it was natural for that priest to be cursed by oyashiro-sama. And so the priest's case was lumped together with the mysterious Higurashi deaths, otherwise known as oyashiro-sama's curse. I mean, that's like Oreo's fault there. Because, like, trying to keep up appearances is like, you better not friggin' the scan's just completed there. Okay, good. It's just like about to say, it's like if it stops the recording again, it'll just be annoying. But, you know, she wants, like, the villagers to kind of, like, see it and be like, oh, could it be the Sonozaki family? Maybe. Or maybe she doesn't, I forget. But she always has to make a comment like this to make it seem like they're more powerful than they are. I mean, they're powerful, they have a lot of reach. But they're not going to be, they're not behind all that shit. They're just kind of like, I don't know, maybe it makes them more intimidating by making it so there's like, you know, people might think, well, maybe the Sonozaki family has something to do with this, even though they have nothing to do with it. So, in a way, it's kind of dumb. It's like, they're pretty much, it's like the equivalent of someone, say, like, confessing to a crime they didn't commit, under the guise of, I don't know, fame. It's like, yeah, there's like, this fucking idiot's wasted our time. The real criminal got away because we were focused on you bastards. Anyways, and so the priest was something else with the mysterious enemy that I have now right now, and it's already showing some scarce. First, I simply wanted to avenge the old man, but now that the case had grown into an abnormal one, centered on the village's faith, damn it, the old man's killer is a human. I won't let it be pushed off onto some nonsense curse. It's weird, because he's so preoccupied with that, he doesn't even realize that the old man's killer is not just one person, it was multiple people. It was the workers in self-defense fighting him off, and then everything's got a bit out of hand because of the Higurashi syndrome, and they brutally killed him, and then they dismembered him because one of them was like, you know what, to make sure that none of you tell, and I guess that must have worked out, because nobody did, it seems. Otherwise, Ooishi would know by now that it was them. I mean, it's like, the main guy got, dissected while alive, by the clinic, so we know what happened to him. We don't know what happened to the other ones. But presumably they, didn't tell. Otherwise, yeah. Did I read that last bit? I'm not sure, and I can't even go back to check. Doesn't matter anyway. Unless you're blind. Then you'd be like, I didn't get that last bit. Okay, how about one more? Or depending on what that one more is, maybe two. A red capsule, oh, they're gonna get the one that's gonna unlock Rena's. Let's have a look for the other ones as well. Yeah, that's pretty much required then. Okay, red capsule. The strange medicine that I can hardly remember was a capsule. Or maybe it was an oval tablet. It was so red it must have been a capsule. I can't imagine a tablet in that color. It must have been a capsule. I think it was a little bigger than a normal one. I think. I can't remember. Although I can hardly remember, if I see that medicine again, it'll refresh my memory. That medicine strips away humanity, takes away human soul, memory, emotion, and it numbs the human body. There are no thoughts, no interests, no will to stay awake or asleep. There's no sense of time. Sometimes a second can feel like an eternity, and other times I can almost see an hour hand move. Either way, there's no emotion involved. I can't feel any emotion. The medicine only lets me stay in bed and look up at the ceiling. Only the people who have taken it can understand this misery. What's more scary is that, while I'm on the medication, I don't realize how scary it is. I'm given the medication daily and I keep losing all my senses. So, when the medicine wore off by accident, I realize I should never take it again. That's right. This is medicine that will heal me. It's just going to kill me slowly. If I continue to take this medicine, I probably wouldn't be able to tell if I was dead or alive. I would end up losing myself forever. I'll keep looking up at the ceiling without any emotions and keep watching the clock tick forever. I'm gonna assume this is Rena. It sounds like it probably is. It's like she's taking meds, and then when she was off the meds, because take medication, and then you go off them. Some medications will be like that where you get a really bad experience if you stop taking it. But in this case, it's Irie syndrome, so, where she would be being treated at the Irie clinic, would she, at this point? If I take the medicine again, I'll lose all the senses I finally regained. I may never be able to bring myself back again. And today I realized that, so I've been pretending to take the medicine, but throwing it away instead. Oh no, wait. This could actually be Satoko now that I think about it. The doctor prescribes medication, you have to finish taking it even if your symptoms are gone. I can hear my mother's voice. Anytime I went to the doctor's office when I was a child, my mother said that to me. Wait, then it can't be Sudoku then. I usually got well because I finished all the medicine, so I didn't finish taking the test. That's why my mother said that. This is a different type of medicine. I don't remember how old I was when my mother said that, but with this strange capsule in front of me, I have to try and get rid of my mother's voice from inside of my head. I pressed down on my head with my elbows until it hurt, trying to get rid of what my mother kept telling me. Right. As my head clears, I start to remember the ugly side of my mother. My mother betrayed her family. Oh yeah, it's definitely Rena. I was right. She betrayed me and my father, who waited for her at home with dinner on the table. She told us she was busy with work, but she was having an affair. That was bad enough, but she asked my father for a divorce after he took such good care of her for so many years. I'm wondering, because is this like before or after they returned to Hinamizawa? Because it feels like it's probably before. So, kind of wonder what this red capsule actually is. But there's something else I can't forgive her for. She invited only me to meet with her new family. Not my father, just me. My father and I are family. Family means being together. And family means nobody gets left behind. Yet my mother tried to destroy the bond between my father and me. Not only had she destroyed her bond with him, she tried to destroy my bond with him too. When I remember, it makes me feel angry and hateful, and I can't forgive her. The back of my eyes started to hurt, and I could feel the hatred on my face. That overflowing animosity is aimed not only at my mother, but also the man she had an affair with. The man she had an affair with. Uncle Akihito. It is, right? Akihito, yeah. It's just like thinking I've been playing Persona 3 the past week or so. Just think of that. I didn't like him tease me, but he gave me an allowance and tried to have fun with me. I liked him very much, but his niceness was all calculated. He wanted to destroy the family bonds between my mother and my father and me. That's why I shouldn't have said I liked him very much. That's right. I'm starting to remember and understand. I now know my true enemy. It was his fault that my mother started to have an affair, because my mother was a very good mother. He was the one who made her a bad one, so he's the one who deserves the blame. When was the first time I met him? I think it was the time when my mother and I went out and had lunch at a restaurant. She introduced him as one of her colleagues from work. At that time, I think about that first meeting. I think I felt something wasn't right with the way my mother acted around him. Thinking about shit like that with affairs and all that. It's like, what if, like, someone got in a relationship with someone and they didn't even, bring up the fact that they were married? How horrible that would be when the realization comes in. You're like, you not only lied to me, but look at all this shit now. It's like crazy shit. It's like, don't lie about that kind of shit, And, don't do that shit in general, Blah, 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 blah. That's right, I did think something was wrong. Didn't feel right. I wish I trusted my instincts then. I was a fool to think that he was a nice person just because he gave me a strawberry rice from his piece of cake. It was not my father's fault, because I bet he never met Uncle Akihito. But I have. I've met him many times, and there were a lot of chances to realize he was my enemy. If I had a strong enough will to protect my happiness, I could have noticed that. I mean, I assume the guy probably knows that she was married, presumably, but their, relationship was kind of, in the shitter, and probably were planning for a divorce all along. I suppose. I can't forget how my father looked on that day. My father was so nice and gentle, grabbed his knees so tightly and cried so hard. He asked me if I knew Uncle Akihito. I answered yes. Then he slapped me in the face. When he slapped me, I finally realized how stupid I was for being taken in by him. That's right, it was my fault. I destroyed the happiness I had hoped to last forever with my own hands. If I hadn't been that stupid, my father wouldn't have had to cry like that, and my mother would have stayed good. Again, there's like, that's Irie syndrome kicking in there. Although even without that, you know, some people can, like, you know, feel like they're to blame, even, you know, if it's not their fault at all. Like in this case, it'd be the mother's fault, I suppose, for having the affair. But, you know, they could have simply have resolved things a bit better, you know, obviously. Maybe talked and be like, you know what, our relationship isn't working anymore. It's like, we should see other people. Maybe we'll just get a divorce and all that. Rather than, you know, cheating on her spouse and, you know, not even, like, resolving the whole thing with the divorce and all that till afterwards. If you're going to go out for someone, you know, do that. Have the decency to do that. Talk, you know. If I hadn't been that simple, my father wouldn't have had to ground like that in my mother now. If I wasn't that stupid, it was my fault. I can't forgive my mother and Uncle Akihito. Even when I hate him this much, I still call him uncle, and I can't forgive myself for that. It was my fault. Everything was my fault. I was too stupid and foolish, and that's why this happened. I hate her, I'm sad, I'm frustrated, I can't stop being angry. If my mother ever came back to this house, I would rip her apart with my hands. Well, with Irie syndrome, probably would give it a good old try, she would. But she never came back. My anger turned towards everything that my mother left in the house. I destroyed every relic my mother left behind, one after another. I threw and smashed everything. But that still didn't calm me down. Even after I turned the whole house upside down, I still couldn't calm my anger. Where does my anger gather? It starts from inside of me, goes through my arms, my fingertips, and spurts from my nails. Where else can it go? So my nails aim at my own body. My body is the filthiest and most disgusting thing of all. Yeah, she's at L5, alright. I am the one to be blamed. No, I'm not to blame. My mother is most at fault. My mother is the most corrupt. My body and soul feel filthy. I wanted to stain myself black and slice the remaining flesh into pieces. And one day, I finally realized. There are tons of maggots in my blood. I am rotten. I am rotten from the inside. Come on, rot more! But it is indescribably itchy. It is itchy, 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 itchy. I stabbed my father with a razor blade in the bathroom. No wonder why she had to be admitted to the hospital then. The blood flowed out. Reddish black maggots spilled out. I forced myself to open my blood vessels with my thumbs. The maggots spilled out. Squirm. So many maggots spilled out from my left thigh. My right thigh must have the same amount of maggots in its blood vessels. Even my calves too. My arms, abdomen, chest. No. How many maggots are there in the blood vessels in my neck? Strangely, although I've become rather insane, there is still a part of me that is calm. If I keep ripping myself apart like this, I'll end up dead. But everything is my fault, and I'm the one to be blamed. Even if I blame my mother, the only way I can disgrace her is with my own body. Oh, I get it now. That's the best means for quelling my anger. I feel like I'm thinking incredibly rationally now. But to forgive myself, I need someone else to blame. It has to be someone else's fault. No such person exists. No matter how much I think about it, or how I twist the logic, my own body is my only outlet to vent this anger. So long as there's no one else to blame, I'll be forced to rip open every blood vessel in my body. Just like no matter how much I scratch, it still itches. No matter how much I rip apart my own body, it's not enough. The blood is all over the bathroom, and I'm sure it makes for quite a gruesome scene. Although I'm trying to stay calm, I can't ignore the sharp pain that runs through my body. Maybe because I've lost so much blood, or maybe because I'm naked in the bathroom, I feel freezing cold. My whole body is throbbing and my heart is beating so fast. I am cold, hot, and hot at the same time. I'm also sad, angry, and in pain. I have to find something that lets me forgive myself. And then, suddenly, it came. It came in a heavenly light. It was mysterious and unreal, like something out of this world. It apologized. It kept apologizing. Why is it apologizing? It's because of the Irie syndrome. It's Hanyu, clearly. We know this by this point. It's like, Do we? It's just like, have you not been paying attention? You apologize when you're at fault. So this thing I just met for the first time was admitting to wronging me. That means I'm not at fault. It's at fault, not me. I dropped the razor blade. It fell into the puddle of blood. The pain is taking over my body. The pain of ripping away my own body is taking over me. I've been telling myself this pain is the punishment for what I've done. But I'm not at fault. It is. So I don't need to accept this pain as a punishment. So I don't need to defile my body anymore. She continued apologizing to me over and over as I stood there covered in fresh blood. She apologized every time I wanted to blame myself, constantly whispering that it wasn't my fault. Oyashiro-sama exists. She's always following me. Slap, 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 slap. So Rena's aware that Oyashiro-sama's female then. You know, come to think of it, throughout the series, has Oyashiro-sama really been referred to by gender at all? I feel like it's been kind of like seen more as like male than female. But this one straight up has her going, she, you know? So, I mean, if she can hear Hanyu's voice, then yeah, it would be understandable. And she'd realise it was female. Every time I can't endure the guilt, she apologises and tells me I'm not at fault. Everything is caused by the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Things started to go wrong when I broke the rule that I wasn't supposed to leave Hinamizawa. So in one weird way, this is the one time that Hanyu, you know, constantly apologizing to someone suffering with Hinamizawa syndrome has actually had a kind of a bit of a positive result. It stopped Rena, it seems, here. I finally remember, when I moved from Hinamizawa, one of my neighbors gave me a charm. She said that if I left Hinamizawa, I'd be cursed, so I had to take the charm. That's right, she gave me a charm. It had some complicated writing on it, but I hadn't seen it since I moved here. I may have lost it. There's nothing I can do about that. If Hinamizawa residents leave Hinamizawa, they'll be cursed. My mother and I, even Uncle Akihito too, may have gone insane because of the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Nobody was at fault from the beginning, because everything is caused by the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Nobody's at fault. Nobody. I am finally able to forgive everything. The anger that I couldn't get rid of even after I destroyed everything, including my body and soul, is finally gone. Father, now I know. The curse of Oyashiro-sama is what caused my mother to leave, and for you to be so sad. You remember Oyashiro-sama, don't you? The guardian deity of the Hinamizawa. That's right. People of Hinamizawa aren't supposed to go to the outside world. That's why Mother went insane. It's all because of the curse of Oyashiro-sama. If we had stayed in Hinamizawa, we would have been happy. Oyashiro-sama came to me and told me that. Come to think of it, Oyashiro-sama has been trying to tell me that for a long time. After Mother left, I didn't know why she left or how to express my anger. Oyashiro-sama has kept following me ever since then to let me know that. She followed me everywhere, the sound of her footsteps echoing behind me, but I pretended I didn't notice her. I was so stupid. I didn't hear her voice until I slashed my body all over. If only I'd listened to Oyashiro-sama's voice. I bet she started warning me once Uncle Akihito came into my life. If the whole family had gone back to Hinamizawa, my mother wouldn't have had unfair. I don't think that probably had anything to do with it, to be honest. We would have been happy there. I bet Oyashiro-sama has been trying to tell me that. That's right, she must have been trying to warn me ever since we left Hinamizawa. She was always with me. She followed me everywhere. I was stupid trying to pretend I didn't notice. Everything was because of that stupidity. If I had noticed Oyashiro-sama's voice, my family wouldn't have suffered from the curse. You know, you gotta, think, how the hell does Hanyu get around? Is she able to be in multiple places at once? Instant teleportation? I mean, she is essentially a god of some sort. So, powers, I guess. But it's like, Rena is, currently not in Hinamizawa there. It's all my fault. Oyashiro-sama is apologizing. She keeps apologizing, which means this is all her fault. So this isn't my fault, is it? Because this is the curse of Oyashiro-sama, right? She's apologizing, saying, I'm sorry. Oyashiro-sama is apologizing repeatedly. Let's confirm what it looks like in Japanese, even though it's pointless to do so. Ah, where is it? Ah, there it is. Gomenasai, gomenasai, gomenasai. Not even any kanji cards for it, just straight up hiragana the whole way. Which is just saying, you know, sorry over and over. So I'm sorry too, I'm sorry, gomenasai. I'm sorry that I didn't hear your voice, I'm sorry. We are from Hidden Bizarre, so we have to keep hearing your voice. Oyashiro-sama definitely exists. Oh, how about that one then? Of course, that one is like, oh no, can't count for that. You can't read that shit. Only that. I think that's raw and yo. So I have no idea. Then you got Oyashiro-sama. Can't you hear, father? Don't you see? Oyashiro-sama is right there, apologizing to me, saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry too. Come on, father, let's apologize too. Mother, you don't have to apologize. You should die because of the curse. What the hell? I hate you, mother. I hate you. I hate myself for being your daughter. These maggots are your fault. They make me itch everywhere. She's going through some serious mood swings. I'm sorry. No, I don't want that medicine. My mother got it to kill me, so I don't want it. I won't take it. I told you I won't take it. Stop. It's the curse, so you can't fix it with medicine. It won't get rid of the maggots because this is a curse. No, I don't want a shot either. Stop. It hurts. Everything is falling into a grey world. The voice of my father and the doctor sound so far away. Even what just happened seems like it happened a long time ago. Again, I'm given the capsule and even my memory from a minute ago is gone. And I'm back in my bed, staring at the ceiling. And what I can see, the only thing that interests me is the hands on the clock. Tick tock, tick tock. I follow the minute hand as it goes around quickly and the hour hand as it goes around slowly. I see other things too, but they keep going through the same motions just like the hands on the clock. I'm sorry. It's my fault, I'm sorry. Oyashiro-sama keeps apologizing. Tick tock, I'm sorry, tick tock, I'm sorry, repeating over and over, constantly and nothing else. The chorus of Higurashi coming in through the window during the night seems louder than usual. So the next one is clearly going to, cover how Rena and her father returned to Hidden. So now that we got, where is it? Red capsule, no. I still haven't got these ones. I mean, it's pretty much obvious now that this is the next one. Oh, and that would come immediately after as well. This one wouldn't because it still needs the 4th year. That one would be unlocked, wouldn't it? Well, either way it goes, that'll do for this report session anyway. So let's get a word of the day and call it a recording. I was looking for existence and I can't find it in the dictionary. Okay, let's try to find another one that might suit this theme here. Well, the word's right there. I feel like I've probably used this one in a previous arc, but Detective Tante is probably, I don't know. It's ta, and then it's n, te, and e. Detective. And with that, oh yeah, gotta save first. So with that, I shall see you next time, viewers. See you next time.